going on, y'all, and welcome back to a new edition of the 1216 podcast ranking section. As you can see, we are getting into a MCU ranking of all the movies that have come out, all the MCU canon movies, so not all Marvel movies, so no Blade, no Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, none of all that stuff, just MCU movies. So going off of this is from the last time that I've watched all of those movies, essentially. So I haven't had a rewatch from beginning to current, any of that. So I'm just really going off the top of my head from all the movies that I've seen and from the last time I've seen them. So I think I might do like a before and after rewatch list. So fucking, the movies now before having a rewatch, and then actually having a rewatch and then going back and ranking them all through. Unfortunately, it's not in timeline order on here, and I'm not gonna sit there and go through and try and find in order each movie to go in order with it. So yeah, that's gonna be how that is. So we'll just kind of basically go off of, I guess, in the order that's on there, or depending on if I can kind of pick stuff out in order, I'll do it like that. So with the first one, with that being the case, I do know the first one in the timeline would be Captain Marvel. This movie, it's not super high up there for me. It's, kind of average. So I'll put it in 4 out of 6. It's an average movie. It's no super highs, super lows. The coolest stuff of the movie is around the ending when you get to see Captain Marvel kind of go crazy and whatnot. So that was enjoyable, but otherwise it was really just a setup movie for for Endgame, so we knew about Captain Marvel going in so she could come in and help out and all that blah blah blah. So yeah, solid movie. Watched it a couple of times. It's been a while since I've watched it. Next in timeline order, I do know next would be Captain America. Y'all, okay, so the people who know me outside of the channel and whatnot, talking about MCU and all that kind of stuff, everybody knows Cap is my favorite Avenger, hands down, far and away. That's my dog. I love Iron Man, don't get me wrong. It's obviously Cap, then Iron Man right there. But I just love everything about Cap, his personality, everything about his character, just everything about Cap. I just really love Cap. So mine might be a bit biased. It might not be as accurate as what you would think would be the official rankings or whatever, but this is just based off of how I felt about the movies and watching them and whatnot. So we got those two. Then obviously we have the GOAT, Iron Man from the first movie. That's top tier, perfect movie, hands down, far and away, amazing. Iron Man 2, I did enjoy bits and pieces of Iron Man 2. But if anything, I'd say it's an average movie. It's just average. No super high highs, no super low lows, but it's really just getting Iron Man ready for the Avengers, him getting the new little chess piece and everything, developing the new element, Rhodey becoming War Machine, introducing Black Widow. So it's a good moments, good stuff going on, but it's not one of my highest movies. It's just okay. After that, I want to say Hulk, because that's right before Avengers. Hulk, average. It has some great fighting scenes and whatnot. But as a movie overall, it wasn't it wasn't like super great or anything super high. It's just, just right there in the middle, right there, average. I know we have Thor next. Thor, the first one, average. It's not bad, not good, just right there. No, that's not the first Thor. This is Thor the Dark World. Well, since I've already put it up there, we can go ahead and put that down at the bottom. Thor the Dark World is not good. I enjoy it for what it is, but let's be honest, it's not really that great of a movie. Where's the first Thor? I don't even see it. First Thor. Well, see, that's why I said we wouldn't go in order and whatnot. So we'll just, I guess, skip and find that. But that's, odds are when I do find that, that's going to go in the average range. The Avengers. I enjoyed the Avengers. I saw it in the movie theaters when it first came out with the homies, with Jazz, Sims, I want to say Essence was there. So we had a real good time. That was during prom weekend and whatnot when that came out, and we got to go see that. So I really enjoyed it. That was like seeing all of the movies that came before that, and then having them all the characters together in this. It was really just something. That's Avengers: Age of Ultron. But I'm fine. Listen. That's Age of Ultron. We'll talk Age of Ultron. I put both. Essentially, I put both Avengers in there. Both of them. Yeah, nothing super crazy, super over the top in either one. I do like Ultron, all the stuff that we get with Ultron. Ultron is voiced by one of my favorite actors, James Spader. Love him in The Blacklist. So Ultron, I mean, when it first came out, people were kind of disappointed about it, but I think it's grown more favorably as time has gone on, and because I rewatched Avengers: Age of Ultron more than I'll rewatch the original Avengers movie, just because at this point in time they're all together, they already know each other, they're not having to do the whole introduction. Hey, this is Cap, this is Iron Man, blah blah blah. Then meet each other, they're already working together. So I have that a bit higher than the actual Avengers. Age of Ultron is a bit higher than the regular Avengers for me. But if you don't see it that way, that's fine as well. Next. I guess I'll just start jumping around in here now. So I'll just go from, I can do Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3, I put in the 7 to 9 category. I liked it more than 2. It's really cool getting to see Tony being more than just Iron Man. He's not just the suit. He's a man in the suit. So what the man can actually do. What did he say to Peter? If you need this suit to be Spider-Man, then it just proves that you aren't him. You don't need this suit. You know what I mean? So he's more than just a suit, more than just Iron Man. Getting to see all the suits and whatnot that he's made at the very end was crazy. It was just a good movie, getting to see him really just out the suit and doing more stuff to Tony than just being Iron Man in the suit. So I got that up there in the 7 to 9 range. Quantumania, average. It was an average movie, 4 to 5. There were good moments in the movie. I really liked Darren. I know some people didn't like Darren, getting to see him again and how he turned into MODOK and everything. I enjoyed Darren. Cool seeing him again. Cool. It was really cool seeing Kang. But I would have liked to see, I guess, more of him. We will see more going on in the future, but it just, it was just okay. It wasn't as good as I kind of hoped it to be, and how they kind of felt like they hyped it up going into it, the whole Quantum Mania, getting ready for the Kang Dynasty and all of that kind of stuff. It was just okay. It was just a okay movie. It could have, it could have been a lot better. Well, we can do Ant-Man and the Wasp as well. I put that in about the same range. It's a good movie. It's the first time we get to see Wasp in her suit and everything, so I really enjoyed that. But it was just okay. It wasn't super great. It wasn't super bad. It had its moments. That's kind of where I put all the 4 to 6 stuff. Just it's average. It's not it's not bad. Like the Dark World 0 to 3, but it's not good like the ones in the 7 to 9 category, even the 10 out of 10 category. So that's where I leave that. And since we're still on the Ant-Man, first one, 10 out of 10. Everything about the first Ant-Man movie, I absolutely love and adored. It's great for me from start to finish. Seeing Scott, seeing how much he cares about his daughter, trying to do everything right by his daughter and everything. Cassie, absolutely love Cassie. The portrayal of Cassie from the younger actress in the first 2 movies, she was great. Sad that we don't get to see her anymore, but you know how the timeline works and all that, so it makes sense. But I absolutely, that's one, like the ones that go on my top are like favorites. I can rewatch anytime, any day, no matter what. It doesn't matter. Absolutely love those movies. The Ant-Man just really man, that first one, it was special, bro, because I didn't go. That was one of the movies I did not go to the movie theater to see when it came out, because I didn't really know. I knew it was MCU, but I didn't know anything about Ant-Man, so I ended up watching it at home. Fell in love with that first movie. Where should we go next, y'all? Where should we go next? We did the first We got Thor: The Dark World, so I guess we can go. Okay, this is the first Thor movie. The first Thor movie, average. 4 to 6 range. It was good. It was phase one. Phase one movies didn't really have. They weren't as good as the movies that come later on. Obviously, getting your footing in the world of the MCU and everything, and kind of trying to figure out how you want everything to be. So, didn't really have any super high expectations with that, but I definitely enjoyed the first Thor movie. Really good, really good, really good. Ragnarok. Since we're on Thor, I'm putting Ragnarok in the 10 out of 10. The first time I watched Ragnarok, I didn't see it as a 10 out of 10. It was more of a 8 out of 10 for me. But after going back and rewatching, kind of getting okay with the comedy and everything, like the Devil's Bumhole and some of that stuff, just kind of, it didn't hit for me when I first watched it in the movie theater. But like after rewatching it and whatnot, I came to enjoy some of the comedy and whatnot that they did and whatnot. So it was pretty good. So that hands down 10 out of 10, can rewatch from start to finish, no problems. Absolutely love that movie. Absolutely love the relationship between Thor and Hulk. This was probably my favorite Hulk that we've seen throughout the whole MCU, even up to current times with Smart Hulk. Because it's still like smash Hulk, but he can actually talk and communicate with sentences and whatnot. So I really enjoyed that. I kind of wish that was the same Hulk that we still had, because everything about him was great. The Banner Hulk now, it's okay. I don't really have big gripes against it or anything. It's just okay. Now, it's kind of hard for me. I don't know. Either between the 4 and 6, or it was average. It wasn't. I kind of wanted a bit more from the movie going into it, watching it, because it was going to be Jane Foster and all that kind of stuff, and Gore the God Butcher and everything. But it was just okay. It didn't, that they doubled down too hard on the comedy from Thor Ragnarok, not realizing like the light bit of comedy sprinkled throughout, as opposed to going super all in. The goats, I don't care what anybody says, the goat shit, that was funny to me with them hollering and everything. I absolutely love that. Wouldn't change that for anything. But some of the other stuff that they had just didn't really land, so it just kind of average. Okay, so that's all the Thor stuff. Shang-Chi. I absolutely enjoy Shang-Chi. Give it in the 7 to 9 range. I've rewatched that a couple of times. The music, the fighting, everything. The ending stuff kind of fell a bit flat. With the fight with on the dragon part was kind of cool, but some of the stuff in that final fight just didn't really hit for me. But it's still a great movie. I'd probably have it in the 8 to 8.5 range, somewhere in there. Between the 8 and the 9, anywhere in there, I'd be fine with that rating. Okay, let's go Black Widow. Now, this one is really tough if we're talking about as far as a movie standpoint. Okay. So, movie standpoint, it's an average movie. The Yelena factor for me bumps it up to at least a 8. I absolutely love Yelena. She's one of my favorite characters in the MCU currently. Everything about Florence Pugh's portrayal of Yelena, just amazing. Getting to see her later on. I know it's not the Black Widow movie, but getting to see her later on in Hawkeye and everything, like, she really killed that role. So that ends up moving it from the 6 range to 4 to 6 to a 7 to 9. Is sitting at an 8 for me with the Black Widow movie. Now I guess we can finish up the Cap series. We can finish up Cap. We have his first movie, second movie. For me, it's still my favorite. I wanted to put it as number 1 up there on the S tier, but it's my favorite movie. It's still my favorite MCU movie, hands down, far and away. Even with all the recent stuff that we've gotten, it's still just everything from start to finish about the Winter Soldier movie was just it. I adored that movie. I still can go back and play it. It's my first time watching it, even though I know all the stuff that's going to happen. Just everything about it with Cap, with Natasha, with Sam, with Fury. Just it was just with the whole stuff with Hydra and everything. Just man, it's still my favorite, hands down in a way, solo movie. I mean, it's not solo really because you do have other Avenger characters in there, but it's technically a solo movie, so it's still my favorite one. We can jump into Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. The first one, 7 out of 9. I love the first movie. Benedict Cumberbatch's portrayal, just everything about it. He's great. He is Doctor Strange, just like Tony, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, and Chris Evans is Cap. So just loved his portrayal of it from start to finish. Movie was great. Just I could rewatch this one several times, believe it or not. Because when I first watched it, it was like, okay, this is good, but I didn't know how rewatchable it was. Ended up watching it again. Love it from start to finish. The stuff with Christine, just him getting his magic powers, understanding how to use them, and then evolving on that. Just, hey, it was a great movie. The second one, on the other hand, listen, I feel like it's a bit better than average, but it just didn't really hit for me as much as I thought it was going to be. It has great moments. Wanda, getting to see her as a villain, that kind of could push it up higher, because her as a villain was great. The stuff that she did, like the jumping out of water puddles and all that kind of, she was great. She was a terrifying villain, so I absolutely loved her. But I mean, it just didn't, I don't know, it just kind of felt a bit not all over the place, but just a bit not that focused as much as I would have liked it to be. But otherwise, all in all, it was a pretty solid movie, so it's still in the average range. That's it for Doctor Strange. We can jump into Spider-Man now. Okay, Spider-Man Homecoming. Homecoming. How do you want to rate Homecoming, HL? Okay. So I've loved Tom Holland in it. Both of them are a bit above average. I like No Way Home more than I like I like Far From Home more than I like Homecoming, for sure. Peter being out in a different place other than New York City, and all the kind of stuff that he went through with Mysterio, and him kind of trying to realize in his head, like, Tony chose me for a reason. He didn't choose anybody else. He put the burden on me, but him trying to realize, like, hey, I am still a kid, but with great power essentially comes great responsibility. I have to, be Spider-Man. Even if I want to be on vacation and all that, being Spider-Man comes first. So, yeah. Really love that movie. I mean, I've loved all the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, for sure. More so than some of the other people have that I've seen online and whatnot. But, this is my ranking, so that's where I have those two. Obviously, No Way Home is 10 out of 10. Just perfection. Absolutely loved everything about that movie. Tom getting to see all the other villains and whatnot that we've seen in other Spider-Man movies. Andrew and Tobey coming back. Just loved it. Even if you say it's nostalgia and all that kind of stuff, don't care. Love the movie. Eternals. Now, you all heard in the Black Clover, if you watched that episode of the pod on Black Clover, how I said I don't go into movies with expectations and all that. I went in at Eternals with expectations. I was severely let down and disappointed. It's not that it's a bad movie, but for me, it's a bit above, below average, just because I don't feel like the story just didn't do it for me. I like seeing the characters. I like seeing their abilities and all that. Makari stole the show with her speed. That's how you do speed, DC. The Flash and all that. That's how you do speed. But Makari stole that. But it just I kind of had higher expectations just because I got to see John Madden, and I believe that's how you say his name, and Kit Harington again. So, Robb Stark and Jon Snow, getting to see them. So I was excited about that. But yeah, movie was okay. I believe in the future it could be better, because I knew that they'll be coming back because the Eternals are still around. So that's that. I forgot to finish Captain America. But I'll put that, obviously, 10 out of 10. Civil War from start to finish. Everything about the movie, everything we got to see about with Bucky and how he kind of fucked with Tony's past and all that, ended up killing his parents. Just how that broke up the Avengers to lead to Infinity War and Endgame. Just it really, they really used it as a great point to set up the back half of the Infinity Saga for sure. The Avengers splitting and everything, and how when Thanos ends up coming down, they're splintered off. They kind of have to. They end up losing because they're not together, and then they end up coming back together in Endgame, obviously, and finish it all up. So that is that. So I'll just go Black Panther now. Both of the Black Panther movies I put in the 7 to 9 range. They're not perfect. They're not perfect movies. But I don't know, man. That first one, it's not a perfect movie. I'm sorry, I gotta move the first one up to the top. It's not a perfect movie. It's not. I wouldn't say it's as good as the other ones that I have up there. But for me and what it did for the culture, like just that was an event for us, man. It was just. So this doesn't really have anything to do with the movie. I think the movie would still be in the 7 to 9 range, but for what it did for me when it came out, just 10 out of 10. Because of all the stuff that was surrounding it. That's why I said it's okay if you leave it in the 7 to 9 range. But for me, the stuff going on around the movie, not just the movie, bumps it to a 10 out of 10. So that's what that is for me. It was kind of difficult with this movie. I know with the second Black Panther movie, losing Chadwick Boseman and everything that went on around that. But they still ended up pulling out a solid movie. I've rewatched it a couple of times since it's been out. Now it's on Disney Plus and everything. Getting to see Riri and everything. Can't wait to see her in the future and what she'll end up doing and whatnot. But yeah, I really love the Black Panther movies, no question. So I'm fine with if somebody else wanted to put it in the 7 to 9 range, that's as low as it can go. Can't go any lower than that. But I got it in 10 out of 10 because of everything that goes on around it. Now for the Guardians, easily. Nope. Number 1, easily at the top. The second one is just average for me. It's not. It still has the family feel, but it's too much. I don't know. It's too much going on with all the ego stuff and whatnot. It just doesn't feel as compact and straightforward as the first movie did. And then of course the third one, 10 out of 10. So he took a dip because I feel like he did a bit too much. James Gunn did a bit too much with the comedy in the second one. But the first one and third one, masterpieces from start to finish. Everything about it just beautifully done. James Gunn is great with the movies and everything. So no real doubts going forward with him and what he's going to be doing as far as with DC. Hopefully that, I know this is an MCU topic and whatnot, but with DC, hopefully everything will be kind of on the right path because he does a really, really good job with the superhero movies. And then obviously to end it off, the last, the ending of the saga would be Infinity War and Endgame. No question, 10 out of 10s with those. Yeah, I mean, that's my ranking, so I'll just go read them by the names of the movies. So we have in the 10 out of 10 category, we have Iron Man, Captain America the Winter Soldier, the first Ant-Man, Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man No Way Home, Captain America Civil War, Black Panther 1, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then Infinity War and Endgame. That's my top 10 out of 10 section. Going down to 7 out of 9. So the above average movies for me, Captain America, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, Doctor Strange, the first one, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Wakanda Forever. Now, these are the average movies. Like they have good stuff. They're not bad enough to be called bad, and they don't have enough good stuff to be above average. So we have the first Captain Marvel. Well, just Captain Marvel. I can just say that because the Marvels isn't out yet at the time of this recording. So Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, Ant-Man Quantumania, Ant-Man and the Wasp, the first Thor movie, the third Thor movie, which is Thor Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, That's my average movies, and then below average was just Thor: The Dark World and Eternal. So like MCU doesn't really have any misses as far as the stuff that they do. So we only have 2 in the 0 to 3 range, so below average. As you see, I've watched everything, so that's my rankings. If you all think some stuff should be changed or whatnot, think some stuff should be moved around or switched around, let me know your rankings in the comments. It doesn't have to be and like 1, 2, 1 is my absolute favorite, 32 is my least favorite. It doesn't have to be in that order, but if you do it in an order like S tier and then type it out, and then super above average, average, and then below average, if you want to do it like that in the comments, and then type your movie next to it that goes in each category, I definitely appreciate it, so I can see what everybody's different feelings are about different movies, what people like more than something else, or what people don't like, what reasons and all that kind of stuff, So 12 got the ball rolling on this with the One Piece. What do you start with? The One Piece Vice Captains list, and then he jumped into the One Piece One Piece arc listing that out. So I will probably do a One Piece arc listing as well. That might be my next ranking video that I'll do, and then you can see how me and 12's opinions and whatnot kind of differ and vary and everything like that. So I know I don't believe he's watched all the MCU movies. He's seen some of them, but I don't think he's seen all of them. So if he just wants to do the have not watched and just throw them all, the majority of the movies down there, that's all cool and whatnot. But wait on you 12 to check out some more of these movies, so you could at least have like 5 that you haven't watched, and then put that at the bottom. But you got to get to watching these movies 12 for sure, because the MCU is like that. But yeah, man, I appreciate you all for making it this far, because that means you all have started and made it all the way from the beginning to this point in the video. If you did enjoy the video, if you did like it, make sure you hit that like button. You want to see more from the 1216 podcast, hit that subscribe button. You want to get notified every time we drop something new, so you aren't missing out on anything that we drop. Hit that notification bell. Make sure in the comments that you leave your list, so I can see what everybody's feelings are, or you can just comment like on my list and kind of say where you think stuff should be moved around below in the comments. And I appreciate you all, like I say all the time, and I will see y'all in the next one.